we go. Everybody loves to hear that. And then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Everybody seeing ramp. Ooh, someone came to the room with me. Chelsea.
Yep.
Um, all right. We will go ahead and get started. And actually, before I get started, so right now I'm logged in as myself. I'm going to not do that in stage. Not everyone has this, just this ability, but I'm going to pretend I'm Andrea for a little bit here before I switch to pretending to be Dawn. So it'll be, anyway. All right. So we're going to go find this funding proposal. Again, this is one I kind of pulled in advance. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, but since we're so recently off our training last week, I thought I would do a little bit of opportunity if anyone wants to show off. We've landed on our funding proposal screen in grants. We have two different options to search on this page. Um, let's say what I know about this funding proposal that I'm trying to find that I got an award letter for. I don't have the number, but I know the PI and I know it's for a family medicine department at SMPH. Does anybody want to take a stab at how you would go about finding that? Yeah, Lori.
Excuse me, you could, on the filters, you could do the drop down and change the ID to the PI and add the PI's name and then add filter
Mm-hmm.
and do the same. Yep, submitting department. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Um, Now, I happen to know that the very first hit is the one I want, but for the purposes of this, I just want to remind everybody what our wild card is, that percent symbol. So instead of searching the entire long cost center name in that submitting departing field, I'm just going to go ahead and put in DFMCH because I know, oop, helps if I hit the right keys on my keyboard. And now we're just getting, probably all the same PI. Whew, he's got quite a few proposals out there. Anywho, I happen to know it's this one, so we're going to go ahead and jump into it. All right, we've landed in our funding proposal. It is currently in the status of pending sponsor review, so this is great. We just heard back. We are going to get this award. This page that we've landed on, can anyone remind me what this page is called?
Is it the workspace?
Yeah, it is the workspace. Thank you, Lori. So it's the workspace. And here we can see a lot of key information about this funding proposal before we even jump into other screens. So first off, we've got our starting date information and how much was proposed. So we can see here that the proposal total was 4,000 or 44,700. All right, cool. We saw the PI already, the department. The sponsor is Wisconsin Primary Healthcare Association, so we know that's going to be a non-federal sponsor in terms of our team assignments. And then down here, in these blue tabs at the bottom of the workspace, there is more information, the budget that was input as part of the funding proposal. If we, we can pass through each of these, but actually, I think for now, we're going to jump in and just look at a little more information about this proposal. All right, so this comports with everything we saw in our workspace. There's our title, our PI, a sponsor. Okay, so this is interesting. We see that this is a public service award that is incoming. And then here's the note from the department. Looks like the PI submitted it to the sponsor with RSP's endorsement letter, and also that an agreement was going to be created to be routed in RAMP so that the negotiations could be completed. So that gives us the clue that we probably need to pop back out to the workspace and see what the agreement record is for this. All right, we see some other key information about it. We see some additional key personnel on the award. We see the project start and end date. So it's actually going to be a backdated start to be the start, January 1st of this year, and only going through the end of July. So short little project. Looks like compliance review is a bunch of no's, which makes it less complicated. No program income, and they're not using any of those research cores or centers. So cool. I'm going to exit that. Oh, I forgot to ask, did anybody remember what these views are, these kinds of pages in RAMP? So that first landing space is a workspace. This is a smart form. All right, back out. Because we saw in the note from the department on the funding proposal that there was going to be an agreement for this record, I'm going to jump over to the related projects. And here I see that there are two agreements, but one of them, if I use my context clues here, see that the project status on this first one was discarded. So the one that is important to us is 12673. Now I can click on that right from here and jump over to the agreements module. In the interest of how slowly our test environment loads, I preloaded that agreement for us so we don't have to watch it spin for a little bit. So here's our agreement. Now in our stage environment, this has not yet been finalized, but in production it has. And you can see on the agreement record, again, this is the agreement workspace. We can see that Aaron was the owner of this record. Looks like there were some changes, and that's why the original agreement was withdrawn. Just looking quickly at the history tab. Yeah, we see a lot of, we see some revisions. Looks like, oh, here, an updated budget. So originally it was 44,700. Now the updated budget is only for 34,700. The other thing you can do is download the current agreement file here, which in this case is kind of acting as our notice of award. Again, I already did that for us to take a peek at. And obviously this is crucial for setting up a new award, is having this handy. Okay, so we see that this is effective upon the date of signature, but down here we see this agreement shall begin on 1/1/2026. So again, we're confirming those dates, which are as important for setup. Looks like a final invoice will be due by August 15th, et cetera, et cetera. I know that our contracts team probably all cares very much about all these words and that they're important and meaningful, but I'm going to keep scrolling until we find our budget information because for us, that is what's important. All right, so here's the key thing we're going to need for the setup of this award. Looks like we've got some salary. There's our main budget line item will be for personnel. So it looks like 22,603 consultant. Looks like some travel for the boot camp conference. We have a number for total direct. And then we see our indirect is 38%. And our total indirect cost is that. What I'm not seeing is what our base is, which of course will not appear exactly as that in here. I know that under a little bit of cheating, but in production, I know that this is going to be set up as MTDC. So I'm just going to take that as it is, and we'll go from there. Okay. So here we're back at our funding proposal. We've reviewed our agreement documentation. We know what our dates are going to be. We know what our total direct and indirect are going to be. These are, this was the original proposed amount. We know that this is going to be, we're actually being awarded less than what we was originally proposed. Great. So we're all prepared to kick it off to the next stage. So we're going to press award letter received. There's some information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So may I add just one thing to this process? So this is actually a handoff between the contracts team to the awards team. So the step that you're doing right now, just so everyone on the call knows, is actually being done by the contracts team. And then they'll assign the AWD record to the award setup team.
Yep, absolutely. I chose to pick on Andrea as my who I'm
Yeah.
masquerading by, but thank you for
No.
that call out. This is the agreement since they negotiated the final contract, then they would be doing these couple of steps here. Thank you, Chelsea. I'm not going to add any relevant detail. I'm mostly doing this activity so that we can see here. We're going to flip our status now from pending sponsor review to award notification received. And then the contracts team will actually go so far as to create the Shell Funding Award, correct, Chelsea? I'm not a crazy person.
That is correct.
Yeah, so the contracts team would create new award. And then we can start filling out some of this stuff. You're going to notice that a bunch of things are already pre-filled because they flowed directly from the funding proposal to our new award record. I'm happy with how all of this looks. The dates on this award are going to stay as 1/1 to 7/31. I'm not going to mess with who has edit rights on this. We're just going to kind of let that flow. Because this is going to be a non-Fed award, I'm going to pick on Dawn, and I'm going to make Dawn the Central Post Award accountant. If I was being a good human, I would go to the site and check who the appropriate accountant would be based on the guidance there, but we're cheating a little bit. I'm going to make the award group non-federal. And then that award purpose is going to be public service, as we saw in the funding proposal. All right. I think I hit all my required fields on this screen, so I'm going to go ahead and press continue. It is at this point that we're going to get assigned an award ID, and we are moving forward with an actual setup. So on this related items tab, we're going to see that the funding proposal was automatically pulled in because we pressed the create award from that funding proposal. It's automatically linking back to that proposal. That's awesome. We're going to go to the financial setup tab. Every award needs to have at least one financial account or grant/award line. That's the one-to-one-to-one relationship here. So all of them have to have one. So it automatically creates that one for us. I'm going to just give this a new name just for giggles. This is our demo. And the award line status here, we're keeping it simple. It's going to be the same as the overall award. So it's going to be 1/1 to 7/31, 2026. PI is the same, department's the same. We're going to switch our direct cost base or our indirect cost base to be MTDC. For grant manager, we're going to choose the person who was the admin contact. Now, this is something that, generally speaking, during the award setup process, this would be sent to the department to fill in some of these fields. They know better than us who's going to be managing the award, etc. For today's demo, we're kind of going to skip that handoff to campus, but just know that this is not stuff that the award setup team is guessing. This is a public service/outreach grant. Now, all of my accountants on the call should know the answer to this one. It's not a clinical trial. It's not cost share, so it is cost reimbursable. For our revenue category, it's a private grant. There is a built-in error check on this form to make sure that the revenue category that you're selecting aligns with the sponsor for the award. And here's where we get to choose our lovely F&A. We know we saw on the agreement documentation that the rate was going to be 38%. So I'm going to do a filter just to get us directly to those. And then it's an MTDC base. So we're going to do UWMSN, MTDC, on-campus public service. And this is the field that translates directly to Workday. Fund code is going to be a 133. All these ooey gooey stuff that everybody loves that comes straight over to Workday. There's our function code of public service. For the purposes of this, I don't think we need an additional function code, so we're going to leave it just as public service and leave number 17 blank. This is where, like, we think of them in SFS as edits. The additional allowed function codes and cost center work tags are handled right here on the financial account in RAMP. Again, 1-to-1-to-1 financial account in RAMP, grant/award line in Workday. This is not for a sub, and it is going to be the primary financial account. So we're going to go ahead and press OK. And then continue. The other thing you have to have at least one of for any award in RAMP is a budget allocation. So we created the grant, and now we're going to put the allotment of money on that grant. So I'm going to go ahead and click into this record that was automatically created. And now I'm going to link that financial account that we just created. So you can see it's got my demo name on it. Press OK. If there were more than one financial account on this award, you'd have multiple listed here to choose from. So it's very important to make sure you're linking the budget allocation to the correct financial account. All right, again, a lot of the stuff is pre-filled for us. The main thing we need to do is switch this up to be an authorized account. And then I'm going to go back and refer to my notice of award or my agreement and grab those numbers. Oof, that's not helpful, is it? All right, so here we see that our total direct cost is $25,145. I'm going to copy and paste because I am lazy. Here we go, maybe. Great. So we got that total. I'm going to hop back. And we're going to see that our total indirect is 9,555. Awesome. And now we see that total number, 34,700. Okay. Let's keep on moving. Now that we have those bigger buckets of direct and indirect defined and our total, now we need to put that into our categorized budget. That'll translate to Workday. So here we have the budget reconciliation tab. We selected our allocation that we just created. Again, if you had multiple financial accounts, multiple allocations, you need to make sure you're selecting the right one. But we've clicked into our only one for this award. For the purposes of time and my sanity today, we're not going to do a very complicated budget. We're just going to kind of press the easy button. And I'm going to put our budget into other direct cost. Nope, that's the indirect budget. Let me go back and copy the right number. All right. We're going to see if Davina's maths here. Yes, it does. So I put it all in other direct costs, which is lazy, but it works. We had all that ooey gooey information in the notice of award, so you could and should normally would be broken out by personnel and all the other categories. But for today, we've got our total reconciled amount is 34,700. Up here, we can see this is how much has been awarded. This is how much we've now reconciled. The budget equals the reconciliation equals the total amount. So we've got lovely zero differences. We are fully reconciled. We're going to leave the award personnel alone. That was again inherited from the funding proposal. The effort page also inherited from the funding proposal. This is the domain of Jenny. All right, terms and conditions. Again, all those ooey gooey good words in our agreement file would be reviewed. But for the purposes of this, we're just going to get our title with UW, equipment title with UW. Term, check that. Okay, otherwise looks good. I'm going to skip this tab. I want to talk briefly about this page. This is the deliverables page in Ramp, and this is intended for campus to use. So in Workday, you guys are using the award tasks to be able to track when you have financial reports due, etc. Deliverables in Ramp is a place where we encourage our campus partners to maybe put that they have a technical report due so that it can remind them. It's kind of slick. You can, name it, give it a what kind of thing are you doing? You can say this is a thing that's going to be due every quarter for this report. You can have it sent to specific staff so that they're getting the reminders as they approach their deadline. So pretty nice. Also just handy to know that some units use it heavily, some do not. So if you see that, if you're in Ramp looking at an award, you see a bunch of deliverables, then it's kind of nice to know, and campus is trying to track it in a more visible way. Here we are back at compliance review. Nothing really on this award, so that makes it easy for us. I am going to just flip this to yes for a second to point out where we have integration with the Arrow system in Ramp. So here, when I said, yes, this does have human subjects, which is often the case for things in SMPH, as you guys might imagine, it'll ask for your IRB protocol and whether or not you've been working on it in Arrow. And looks like they haven't linked it up in Arrow yet, which is, of course, because this doesn't have an IRB, but as you answer these questions, you'll be able to see the linked information here. So I'm going to, actually, sorry, let me clear that out and clear that out. Press no. All right, we're going to leave it as no. And we've made it to the end of this award. Again, this was a very simple, straightforward award, not a lot going on, so it went quick. Also, I looked at every answer in prod in advance, so I knew how to fill it out. But we're going to use this validate button, and this pops up again and again in Ramp, this validate, to check for any errors on the award. And it looks like we're good, all green check marks. So I'm going to go ahead and press finish. Now we're in draft status. Like I said previously, if this was a real life situation, we would be sending this to the unit to review and make sure that they are on board with everything. So we have this send for unit review and setup. That would be the normal flow. In this instance, we are not going to do that. We're going to kind of skip straight ahead to submitting for final review. And I'm going to make Andrea the award approver so that she has the ability, or I have the ability as Andrea, to press the go button. So we skipped straight from draft to final review on this award. Again, not normal. But now you can see over here on the left, we have an activate button with our little lightning bolt. This is the action in Ramp that will send it to Workday. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK. And then I'm going to pause for a minute because this interface is not exactly speedy, and this would be a great time for questions. I'm going to glance in the chat, see if there's anything there. No, I'm not, because my computer's going to freak out. Yep, some good call outs from Andrea on the personnel tab and effort tab. Really, we're only looking for people on the notice of award. And then only the PI, COI, and co-PI will actually go to Workday. So if other key personnel are listed there, and they're on the NOAA, that's great. But unless they are in one of those three roles, they will not appear in Workday.
Yeah, and that's really important in case anyone from campus wants you to add a graduate student or whatnot. Like, not necessary.
Yeah, I see, I think Lori has her hand raised, Lori Snyder.
So Davina, where does the penny adjustment issue come in? When if a grant has cents in it, was it in the budget allocation that they can't put the cents in? They have to round it there?
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely correct. So I'll just jump back on this budget reconciliation page. None of these fields will take pennies here. And I'm going to draw our attention to one other item here, which is called this weird one at the end called F&A rounding. That is how we get around the pennies if it becomes a problem. So for instance, if our indirect cost had rounded up to 9,556 instead of 555, so we were off by $1 in this total, we would put a negative $1 in the F&A rounding, and so when it came over to Workday, it would come across as this value. But if there are cents specified in the notice of award, that has to be added in via a budget amendment in Workday. Great question. And then I think I saw Dawn, or any follow-ups, Lori, sorry.
No, thank you.
Yeah. And then I think I saw Don had his hand up.
Yeah, actually, that was one of my first questions. So I have two here, but I guess a follow-up to that though is I thought there was going to be a improvement to ramp to add pennies at some point. Is that not the
Yes.
case?
Well, that's a long, sad answer, but not for many years is the short answer for us. It'll be a feature in the completely redesigned version of the Huron Research Suite, which is basically like a re-implementation of RAMP. So I feel like we're probably likely to do that eventually, but it's not ready for us. It's not baked enough for us to transition to that new version. So
Okay. And then
eventually,
yeah, you mentioned
yes.
you would do a budget modification. Is that a Workday only correction or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah.
I think, and we might even we can probably do that in a minute here. I see that this is active now. Okay, so I see John. I can't tell the order in which people are raising their hands, but John, you raised your hand?
Yes, just a quick question. Does it matter when you have to select the assigned specialist and then the approver? Can you do it right away when you started, or just the order of it? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so good call out because you might have seen me being kind of sneaky there. It doesn't really matter. You will have, as an RSP employee with the permissions you have, the ability to change that at basically any point. But when I did change it is when I finished the draft of the award and I realized I hadn't made Andrea the specialist on this award. She didn't have the buttons that I needed. She didn't have the send for unit review and setup. She didn't have the submit for final review buttons that I needed. So that's when I was like, oh crap, missed that. I'm going to add it now. Assigning yourself a specialist and as a award approver are they can be done at any point, but you'll reach a point where you're blocked from continuing if you haven't taken that step, which is what I did. I also didn't use the assign award approver activity because I know that when you submit for final review, you have the opportunity to change the approver at that point. So I skipped that and just did it during the submit for final review activity. But you can also do it with this activity here. The other thing on that note that I want to point out is after this was activated, it reverts both the specialist and the award approver to the generic user RSP grants management. So when a new award modification request comes into campus, it goes to that generic, well, it goes to different generic queues, but as someone picks up and is working on a modification on this award, they would assign themselves as specialist and award approver again. Any other questions? Oops, sorry. Yes, and Chelsea's right. There is a problem that we're currently troubleshooting with Huron with the F&A rounding category where it doesn't like negative numbers. It is something we have an open case with Huron about and we're trying to get fixed. It should be fixed soon. And yeah, if you can't see the buttons you're supposed to, it's because you're not the specialist. So assign yourself and then you'll be able to see what you need. All right. Well, we can see here our award has reached that active state and our stage environment is set up with a connection to the Workday sandbox. So I'm just going to pop over there and I, of course, have timed out. Tag nabbit. All right. I'm going to pop in as Dawn just for giggles since we assigned Dawn as the central award accountant. We should be able to see those tasks right in Dawn's sandbox inbox. All right, so if I jump over to my tasks, here we go. Set up and, oh yeah, no thank you. Okay, here we have our two create our billing schedule task and our validate the award tasks. To the Penny's comment or point, we would need to do a budget amendment to add in those pennies. You can create an amendment there. I will say, and this is saying a lot, I think that the budget entry in Workday is worse than in Ramp, but that's just me. Okay. So at this point, I would need to have several more screens open to look at what the grant ID is, what object classes we were changing the budget in, and then the delta. It's not an override, it's a how much do you want to add or subtract. So I'm not going to do that now, but this is where we would put in our pennies to those budget categories if we needed to. Yeah, Lori.
Question, I was thinking, so I went over to the KB and
Mhm.
it says to do a correction, not an amendment.
Yeah, so
Well,
budget, this is a good call out because that is extremely important. I'm discarding that budget amendment, but on the award, you have the option to correct the award or shouldn't there also be an amend the award? Oh, there it is. Okay. Whew. It's like I'm losing my mind. When it says to do a correction, it means at the award level. We do not want award amendments. Award amendments, because they require an effective date, they've caused all sorts of problems with transferring costs, all sorts of shenanigans. So for the award, please, 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 please use the correct option at the bottom, not the amend. But confusingly and counter to being able to remember all this is that for budgets specifically, it is called a budget amendment, which is different than an award amendment, but uses unfortunate terminology.
got it.
Any other questions? All right. Just pointing out some of the things that we put into Ramp and how we can see them here. We see the agreement number that we had put in as the award reference number for the sponsor. See the proposal ID where this award originated from. And set up in history, we see that, Dawn got these tasks, etc. All right, I'm going to hop back over to Ramp. Oops, that's the agreement record. I'm going to hop all the way back over to Ramp. And I'm going to switch users really quick. And what we're going to do with our last few minutes here is we're going to act as though those additional $10,000 that were originally proposed is going to be awarded after all. And campus found out before us. So I'm now logged in as Sindhu from SMPH because they are the administrative contact on this record. So I'm going to go ahead and press and you can see that immediately the buttons are different here because this person doesn't have the RSP access. But what they do have is the request award modification budget, or excuse me, request award modification button, not budget. And I'm just going to call it additional funds. And we're going to say 10,000 more awarded to match original proposal. Okay. If they're being nice to us, they might say something like 7246 indirect and 2754 in indirect. Okay. Down here, we're going to call it well, shenanigans. I guess it's kind of
Probably be in a Word document received
Yeah.
by Depart Division if it's
Thank
an
you.
amendment.
Thank you, Chelsea. A Word document received. And this does not have an FP or something else. It just kind of happened. So I'm going to press no there. I don't have a documentation saying they're giving us 10,000 more because this is make-believe, but I'm going to press finish there. Now, what our department contacts are then required to do before they can press this button, which again, submit to specialist is going to be what kicks it off to RSP. They actually have to send an ancillary review first. So I guess I'll hold on. If they press submit to specialist now, send it straight to RSP, what's going to happen is it's going to give them an error message that says you need to tell your division what you're up to before you send it to RSP. So they are required to do that. So what we would do is go in and add an ancillary review. Oh, see, I didn't use my wildcards, everybody. Just a real life example of not using my own tips and tricks. So by using my wildcard and searching SMPH, I get the division record of SMPH, which is Cost Center Hierarchy Level 5 SMPH. Cool. And that's going to send it to the right people, going to mark it as division sign off. We do need them to respond, and we say, yay, more money. We press OK. This is now going to appear in the inbox of all of the Dean's Office staff of SMPH that are defined in RAMP. I'm going to switch over to being our good friend and former colleague, if it lets me, Bridget Molinar, because I happen to know she is in that office and would have received that ancillary review. The way I'm doing this, it took me straight to the AMR, but if you remember from last week, she would have a notification in her dashboard saying that she had to take action on this record. And here we can tell there's the submit ancillary review button. Bridget is going to accept the submission and mark the ancillary review complete. I say, yay, more money. Okay. And at this point, Sindhu would then have the opportunity or the ability to submit to RSP, submit to specialist. Okay.
And you can see the specialist right now is RSP award setup team.
Yep.
So if someone sends an AMR and they're like, I don't know where this is, you can always go to the AMR number and find out who has it.
100%.
And then I
So
wanted to, oh, go ahead.
I was just say, and this routed directly to the setup team based on the type of award modification request that was selected. Different types route to different teams in RSP. Go ahead, Andrea.
I was wanting to, Amrita had a question about how things are named, how awards are named.
Mhm.
Back to the award dashboard. Real quick.
Just the award
Yeah,
itself.
right there. So this is an example, I think, of what she's asking, and she gave a couple examples in the chat. These are named by the department. However, what I will say is division leaders have asked the award team to kind of get rid of due dates. It's kind of these are determined by the departments and their divisions, how they name things, the naming conventions for awards. And the awards team does not designate how departments name their stuff. What we do designate is how modifications are named. And this is all lined out in the modification documentation that we have in RSP. But for your question, Amrita, how are awards named? Those are based on how divisions and departments want to name them. What I will say also, though, is at the grant level, you can only name the grant line, award line, grant line. You can only use it once. So that's something for them to consider when they do this. But divisions, like I said, division leaders have the division leaders have asked us to kind of get rid of these due dates. They shouldn't be there. But
I think the
does that
title,
answer?
yeah, Andrew, does the title come from the short title in the
Yeah, that the
proposal?
departments
And
put.
then
Yeah.
the date, so like on the 101423, the March 3rd, 2026 date, I believe is the date of generation of the award.
Where?
And
Oh,
what she put in the link there, or her copy paste, she goes award 101423, and then it has the date, March 3rd, 2026.
right. Amrita, are you saying that that's in the title?
It shows up in Workday. It's not in
Right.
Ramp.
Right. Oh, what?
So what she's showing there is coming from Workday, the March 3rd, 2026. It's not actually in Ramp because the March 3rd, 2026 is the date the award was generated and sent to Workday. I hadn't noticed that before, that
Oh, I
Workday was
see.
adding a date there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not, I see that's not in the title in Ramp.
Yeah, I think the
So,
Workday adds a versioning number to things.
oh, okay. So we're talking about two different things then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an artifact. This title is an artifact of the proposal. That was the short title of the proposal. A lot of departments use that in proposal routing to put the due date in the title just for ease of visibility. And generally speaking, it is removed as a part of setup, but sometimes not. And then I think, John, you put your hand up again.
No, I was going to ask, if it's the same as having the long and short title that we used to have in Whisper, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if we go back to that very first page we filled out on the award record. I can't make sense of whose name that handle is, but in just a moment I will call on you. So here, yeah, just John, like the Whisper Days, short title, long title are still fields that we have in Ramp.
And the long title matches the award letter.
Yep, exactly.
That hand is Amrita.
Oh, thank you. Amruta,
Thanks.
yeah.
Okay, sorry about my voice, it's cracking. But so my question is, Divina, when you demonstrated, you had tried to change the title as a demo. So is that something the award setup team does or contract teams does, or is that something we can consider going onward to
So
have a little consistency on how to name the award?
So that wasn't the award I changed the title on, it was the financial account. Which is
Which is
can
I was gonna
which
say
is
which is
determined by the
determined by
department.
campus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless it's like something inaccurate, again, no, we don't want dates in here, things like that. This is up to campus to determine. The only time we would add like CS for cost share line, so we know what the cost share line is, things like that, but we minimally do that.
So in my previous example, 101199, so there are two dates. One is July 23rd and second is February 2nd. So those dates don't mean anything to the post-award accountant. It's in the chat.
Yeah,
Over.
so the due July 23rd, 2025, came from the title of the award. So that came from here. But the 2/2/2026 is just when it integrated to Workday, I believe. So Workday is appending that date with the version information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. I'm masquerading as Dawn here for a minute. I'm just going to pretend that Award Setup pitched this AMR over to Dawn, and he's going to go ahead and create an award modification to satisfy that. So down at the bottom in the award workspace, we can see that there's a modification request called additional funds. I'm going to assign specialist to be Dawn from here, just for giggles. Okay. Remember from last week, those action columns of execute activity or smart form allow us to either do something or jump to a specific place in the record. So handy dandy. Now the specialist on that AMR is Dawn. I'm going to go ahead and assign assign Dawn as the award approver and specialist proactively. To John's earlier point, I'm going to try and remember in the now instead of later. And what you'll see is by doing it on the award right now, before I create a modification, it will flow over to the modification record that we're going to work on. All right. Dawn is the approver. And now, because of your RSP permissions, see, campus just had the button to request an award modification, but RSP will have the create award modification button. So I'm going to go ahead and press that. And we're going to see a smart form that feels very reminiscent of what we saw when we created the award record. A lot of the same fields. Andrea or someone else, Chelsea, anyone on the setup team want to tell me what I should be calling this modification? Because I don't have it memorized.
Go
Well,
ahead, Chelsea.
Yeah, ideally, if this is coming from an amendment, so
Mhm.
say it's like this, we'll say like it's contract number 123 and it's amendment 1. That's the type of information that we would want in the name because it also shows up on the award workspace, so you're easily able to keep track of it.
All right, so we're putting in a little bit of information here. This is what comes over to the post-award inboxes, the description of what you're doing. So this is very helpful. The more verbose it is, there. Down here, we're going to call this a budget allocation correction. 95% of the time in RAMP, that is the modification type we're going to use. And then we're going to do this where we check all 4 boxes. What these 2 questions drive in RAMP is what screens are going to be available once you officially create the modification record on the next page. If you don't have all these checked or you choose a different type, you will have less fields available to you. It tries to give you only what you need, but I think our award setup team has found over the last few years that it's just better to have all the options from the get-go. So we basically always choose budget allocation correction and these 4 boxes. There's no subaward, so it's not going to affect that. I'm going to grab a correction reason, correction involving, oh no, we're going to call it a funding change. That's what it is. We've added new money, the sponsor's giving us something extra. So it's not a correction, it's just a change.
Hey, Davina,
Yeah.
you said, so I know the description box goes in, it feeds into the setup history notes in Workday, but you said it also is in the like an inbox message that goes to the accountants too. Is that what you said?
I'm pretty sure it is in the
Like
in
if
the
they get a
correction
notification?
notification. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
With the process.
under the process in that. We'll be able to check it in just a moment, actually. If I don't time out of Workday, so I better go over here and click something. Here we go. All right. There was not a secondary funding proposal that I need to link here. If there had been some revision proposal or something else, this is where you would plug that in. For our purposes today, and in the interest of time, I'm going to skip everything and go straight to our budget allocations. And I'm going to update the one we created a few minutes ago to add in that additional value. So, oh, I have to do math. Okay. Oh, no, I don't. I'm good. So 7246 is our new addition along with our 2754. So now we've brought our total up to 44,700. Our indirect rate is staying the same. I'm going to press OK. And the other thing we need to do when adding additional funds like this is we need to reallocate or redo our reconciliation so that newly allocated fund is bucketed into the correct budget categories. Oh, Stage, don't fail me now, please. All right, well, while that's loading for a million years, does anybody have any questions? Oh, there it goes. Never mind. Hold questions. Sorry. All right, here we go. Let's put in our numbers, 7246. And so here we have our example of F&A rounding. We put in 7246 here, but the automatic calculation and ramp of 38% of that rounds down to 2,753. So I'm going to use our F&A rounding category to add in that last dollar, which is bringing our total reconciled amount to $10,000, our overall awarded amount to 44,700. Everything looks good up here. We can see that we've added our additional 10,000. We've totally reconciled this allocation. We're looking great. That's all I'm going to change with this mod. So I'm going to go ahead and press the validate button on the left. I'm not going to get into the other screens. Again, in the real life scenario, this is something that would probably be sent to our campus colleagues, and for a unit review and setup, they would do some changes before it came back to RSP for final review. But in the interest of time, we got all green check marks. Love to see it. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this modification record. Oh, come on, buddy. We're so close. All right, here we go. Because I made Dawn on the award record, the specialist and the approver of the award, it carried through to the modification record itself. So I don't have to do anything. It's already ready for me to press the submit to final review button. I love that. Didn't find any errors. Award approver is going to stay Dawn. We're going to press OK. And then we're going to get our lightning bolt. Maybe. Hopefully. Whew, okay. Nope. Thinking about it still. One moment. Spinning wheel of death. There we go. Final review. Pressing approve. Everything looks golden. Love to see it. Here we go. All right. While that is transmitting over the airwaves to Workday Sandbox, any questions on what we did in that modification record, or did it kind of track with what we know about RAMP so far?
Don had a question.
Oh, yeah, Don. Oh, in the chat.
Yeah, I can ask it. Yeah, I think you didn't hit the sponsor change screen, and I was guessing that's where the award group was.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
Yep.
like you can change it there, but that doesn't feed Workday, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yep. You can change it in RAMP, and we generally have been when it is in the wrong group just for reporting purposes, but it does not flow to RAMP or to Workday, excuse me. The central award accountant does flow to Workday. So if we'd wanted to change this to the accountant that actually got assigned this award, which I believe was Carrie, we could have done so in that mod and it would have flowed as an award account change. If we, for some reason, discovered that this had NSF as a prime sponsor on this award and we needed to change the award group also, you could change it in RAMP, but it's not going to affect Workday. And to change award group in Workday, we actually have to submit a ticket, an Avanti ticket to Wes to get that updated, which hurts my brain as much as it hurts yours, I assure you.
Okay.
I asked if they could give that to the squad at least, and they said no. So I tried. Just know that I tried. All right, cool. Now we see that the mod is transmitted over. It's approved, which is good. There were no errors on the interface. If there had been, they would have appeared here. Now, if I go back to our award record, we will see that the specialist and the award approver has again reverted to that generic user. And then if I pop back over to Workday and go to Dawn's My Task box again, we're now going to have the award correction task in the inbox. And to Chelsea's point, if I look at the overall process, it's under details. It's under process. If I go to the process and look at the process from the My Tasks box, here we see that comment that I put in RAMP. So that's where it is accessible for folks to see it in Workday from their inbox. All right, we covered a lot in an hour, but I hope that gave everybody a better feel for kind of the life cycle of an award. The last thing that I didn't do in RAMP that I should have was go and close out that AMR because now it is officially processed. So the last step would be to approve the AMR. And so that lets campus know it's done. Everything's good to go. Yeah, so we saw from the getting of a notice of an award or a finalized agreement through creating an award, getting a request to change the award, modifying the award, etc. We saw some of the places in Workday where those changes turn up and you can view them. Does anybody have any final questions? Yeah, Carrie.
I'm kind of going back to the budget change, but when we have foreign currency, should we be using that budget modification as well instead of the Workday only change? Oh, we still have to do that in RAMP. Never mind. Never mind.
I'm glad you remembered because my brain immediately shut down when you said foreign currency. So I might have to do some follow-up on that to make sure I have it completely straight in my head. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining me for RAMP 102 today. I hope that this helps to continue demystifying RAMP a little bit and that it becomes easier and easier to navigate. Feel free to reach out with questions and otherwise have a great rest of your Tuesday.
Thank you, Davina.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.